Welcome back to the channel, and we are back with Monta. And if you haven't already seen the first video explaining what is Monta, if you've heard the name around, if you've seen the logo around, make sure you pop back on the channel, and there is a Monta playlist here on EV Review Ireland. But we're back with Ricky Hill, who is the country manager for Monta in Ireland. And Ricky, obviously the title of the thumbnail and the video talks about this new product from Monta called SmartQ. So we were both at Fully Charged South a couple of weeks ago, and you launched it there in Farnborough. Can you tell us exactly what is SmartQ?
Yeah, so SmartQ is a new feature, and what it seeks to address is the frustrations that EV drivers feel or when they drive up to an EV charging site and it's fully occupied, basically. So how long they're going to wait, where are they in the queue, etc. And look, what is essentially is the names give it, it's a virtual queue where the drivers can join the queue and park the car, do whatever they need to do, and when it's their turn to charge, they get a notification by the app, and then they get 15 minutes to plug in and start charging. So really removing the kind of the ambiguity and frustrations, the uncertainty that people feel in those scenarios. And I think when you boil it all down, what Monta is all about is improving the overall driver experience, but also for the site owners and the operators of those charge points, improving the utilization of those chargers.
So I've always been asked about what is the charging etiquette if the chargers that you go to, be they slow or fast, have people already charging at it. Do you stay right beside them? Do you give the dirty looks? Do you go over and knock on the window and ask them how long? And then what happens when somebody pulls in ahead of you, even though you've been waiting there for 30 minutes? So this gets rid of all of that. There's clarity about it. And it's great to hear that it's not, you're up next, you have to go in straight away. You've got that 15-minute grace. Is that right?
Yeah, absolutely. Because I think, look, ultimately it's designed so that we don't want people kind of sitting there waiting, being frustrated about where they are. So, if they're, wherever they can go off and do whatever they need to do, get a notification, and then come back to it. And I think, like, ultimately the core use cases are we seeing this kind of being successful or kind of up and running at the moment are workplaces and residential complexes. And I think if you take, for, like, say, for a workplace, obviously a lot of businesses, and you notice, Derek, that they're putting banks of 3, 4, 5 chargers outside their office, but we're seeing more and more EV drivers, let's say 10, 15, 20 per office now. And in this instance, first come, first serve, first 3 get in there, everyone else joins the queue. They go to work, they're in meetings, etc. They get a notification when it's their turn. So it's, it's a very seamless and kind of good experience for people to actually, good charging etiquette, good charging behavior, that they can leave the car and know that they're in that queue and they get notified when it's their turn.
And you can see how many people are ahead of you in the queue as well. So it's great to see that visibility and that clarity and that understanding as to, okay, I know what's going on. And that's all people ever wanted to do.
Yeah. Once people actually know and have the understanding, people can then make plans to do what they need to do, basically. And if they know they're going to get a notification, that works. And I think, look, one of our other features is idle fees. So as you know, that when somebody's fully charged, they get, say, 10, 15 minutes grace, and then they get a fee per minute. So it really will drive the turnover of the charger. So once people fully charge, instead of charging, when they're fully charged, they get to, they move their car, then the next person in the queue gets in. So again, it's like the idle fees will drive the people who are fully charged to move, and then the queue to actually get that next person in there very quickly. So, again, driving the overall utilization and of the chargers, which is exactly what everybody wants,
Yeah, it's sweating the asset, and it's not about you have 10 bays in your apartment complex or your workplace and you're going to put in 10 chargers. That's maybe not the right solution. It's about understanding the utilization rate. And you might only need 3 chargers, but you're putting that SmartQ system in place and really getting the most out of those 3 chargers in those 10 spaces. Would that be fair to say?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, if they're managed correctly, and that there's mechanisms in place, which what SmartQ does and idle fees, that you get that turnover. So instead of having 10 bays, you have 5, and you drive better utilization of it all, really.
Brilliant. It was launched obviously at Fully Charged Live South a couple of weeks ago in Farnborough. What was the
Yeah.
feedback from the EV drivers? Because Farnborough is putting in a large infrastructure of EV chargers for visitors that are going to all their exhibitions.
Yeah, phenomenal and very compelling actually. So the chargers were always charging, and there was queues throughout the full 3 days. The gap between somebody finishing a charge or removing the plug and starting the charge was 11.5 minutes. So you can see there that people are charging, the other people can park the car next to them, and they can go into the event, which is 200-300 meters away, and then get a notification. So it took them kind of 11 minutes between they're getting notification, coming back, getting the car, and parking in. So it was just phenomenal success, and really highlighted kind of exactly what it's actually supposed to solve, which is people can park, go off to a thing, get them a location when they're to charge, and then come back. And overall, it drove incredible utilization to it. So everybody is absolutely delighted. So huge
Brilliant.
success.
The people that it's target, like the residents association, or sorry, resident complexes, commercial office blocks, etc., workplaces. Apologies. If somebody is watching this video and they go, "This is an amazing idea. We should have this in the office," reach out to yourself or reach out to the charge point operator and say, "Do you have that Monta Smart Queue system that we can start utilizing?" What way do you think they should go about it, Ricky?
Yeah, absolutely. I'm easily found. I'm on LinkedIn or via you, Derek. I know that you're highly popular. Everyone can get in touch with you. But yeah, absolutely. And look, we're more than happy to to have calls and to discuss it with people and go through it in a bit more detail. So fundamentally, for people to understand the value that it's going to bring to them and the benefits, etc.
Perfect. Ricky Hill, as always, great to have you on. And it's great to hear these new features that Monta are always innovating and bringing new things to marketplace. And this Smart Queue system, I think, is going to be, everybody's going to be happy with it.
Super. Thanks, Derek, and talk to you again soon. Bye-bye.
Thanks, Ricky.